Hello there, Scapers. My name is Zenevilius, and welcome to my Memorial of Guthix Trim Completionist Cape Requirement Guide. This is my fifth one, I believe, and this requirement was released recently on Monday. And I would say it's similar to the Arc requirement in terms of how grindy it is, and in terms of how repetitive it is, and how AFK it can be. So what is the requirement? The comp requirement for the normal comp cape is to collect all 12 engrams, which will be scattered around Galenorn, and I'll show you how to get to them. And you need to attune them once. Attuning them involves adding a certain number of memory strands and a certain number of divination energy to these 12 different engrams. Now, memory strands can be gained from all divination in Galenorn except from Dungeoneering divination, and the rate of gaining it is on average over time the same whatever activity you're doing, and you just add some energies to these 12 engrams, 12 different types of energies that currently exist within RuneScape that aren't related to the Arc or Dungeoneering. So you need 2,280 of these memory strands. On average, all things considered, you'll be getting around 300 of these per hour of divination. And you also need 4,350 energies, which costs around, well, just somewhere between 500k to 1 mil. The market prices are very volatile right now because everyone's trying to recomp. So I'm not sure how much it is exactly, but that's around how much you need to spend. And it'll take you around 8 hours to collect all this. The trim requirement is to do this 2 more times. Unfortunately, it's not an exact repeat when you do it. You do need to spend extra time to do it 2 more times. So the second time will take around 10 hours and the third time around 12 hours. Yeah, in total you'll need 9.5k strands and 18k energies. Now these numbers are thanks to mod Manti, who released a forum thread based on this particular update. He's also done similar numbers for the Arc in terms of XP per hour and chimes per hour. So I'll link that in the description below. But here you can see the numbers. So comp cape will take around 8 hours and the trim requirement will take around 22 hours. So in total, trim will take 30 hours and comp will take 8 hours. This does not include collecting the engrams, which takes, let's say, between 10 to 20 minutes each time. Prestige is what you actually gain when you hand these in and you do them again. So Prestige 0 is what you start off at, and you need to do this 3 times to reach Prestige 3 by the end of the third time. As you can see, even though the energy and the strand requirement goes up with every single prestige, you also slightly increase your strand per hour rate. So it kind of balances out, but not really. It slightly makes up for how much extra strands you need. But all in all, this is a pretty grindy requirement. And I just found out that if you're going for trim, you got a nice little surprise. You get a free 2k strands if you're 99 divination by finishing the first set of 12 engrams and handing them in. So that will knock off around 6 hours off the second half, so 6 hours of the trim requirement, and possibly more than that. If you've got 120 divination or 200 mil XP in divination, you might get more strands than 2k. Let's get on to how you get started with the requirement and how you find the engrams. First of all, you want to bring 500 pale energy with you. Teleport to the Eagle's Peak lodestone and run northwest. Eventually you will reach all of Fairweather alongside Guthix's memorial. So just talk to her. You'll need to do a tutorial before you can get on to the next bit. She will give you 80 memory strands and talk to you a bit about what's going on. And then all you gotta do is click on it and go through the dialogue, charge it, and then talk to her again. She'll tell you what to do with it. And that will be 2 stages out of 6 complete. And then you just go to any random echo plinth, one of the 12 around there. Click on Naragi and then click OK. And then you got to talk to the echo once it appears. And then you got to click on the butterfly in the middle and activate that effect. This effect that you have to activate is what converts chronicle fragments into Guthix butterflies. So you need to do this, and then you talk to her again, and that will be the tutorial complete. Now you can go hunt for the 11 other engrams to get your comp requirement done, and prestige 1 out of 3. You can teleport to the Elder Sword Engram via the Squire in the Port Sarim area or the Void Knight Seal. Go to the southeast corner and the engram is on top of one of the barrels, as you can see here. Just click on it to collect it. You'll get a butterfly which you can click on for XP as well. The next one is the Sword of Edicts Engram. It's just north of the Wilderness Volcano Lodestone, next to the Wisp area, under where this yak is. Make sure you don't have anything valuable and that you have a quick teleport out. And just run south a bit and then teleport out if you need to. Next to the Guardians of Guthix Engram. Just teleport to Tears of Guthix using the game's necklace. Go south a bit and it will be right there in front of you. The World Gate Engram is expected near the World Gate, just northeast. So use the 6-stage circuit to teleport to the World Gate and go there. Or the Eagle's Peak and go south. Next is the Burthorpe one, just south of the Champions Guild in the church. So just teleport to the Burthorpe Lodestone. Next, we have the Falador one, just north of the Falador wall. So Gamer's Grotto teleport with the game's necklace or east from the Falador Lodestone. Next is in Lumbridge, in the Farmer's House on the west side of the river, north of Lumbridge Lodestone teleport. Next, we have the Glariel's Tomb one, so just northwest of the RD Lodestone teleport near the tomb. Next, we have the Fairy one, so teleport to the Fairy Ring. The quickest way is via the Fight Cave teleport with the Tokkul Zo, and just go east of the wheat field in Xanaris, and it will be right there next to the sand pit. We also have the Gnome one now. I like to go from the northwest corner in Gnome Village, Tree Gnome Village, so use any of the spirit trees to teleport there, and then run to the south area through the maze, and just where you see me right here now, just south of the center, and it will be right there. It's a bit of a grind, a bit of a walk, but you will get there. After this, you have the Fist of Guthix one, so just a Gamer's Grotto teleport or east of the Falador Lodestone. Go into the portal for Fist of Guthix and click on the rack in the middle, and you'll get it. Now those are the main ones you need for comp. Now if you're going to do trim, you need to get the Naragi one again, which you got in the tutorial. So teleport using AIS and just go north. North of the massive elder god that's dead, and just walk through Naragi and you'll go to Guthix's house at the top, and you'll be able to click on his engram, which you won't be able to access until you've reached Prestige 1. Once you've gathered all the different engrams, it's time to get them all charged up. So you need to start camping a divination spot to get enough strands. So for the comp requirement, just to reiterate, you need 2,280 memory strands. You can teleport directly to Orla to hand them in once you have enough by just right clicking on the strand, either in your inventory or in your money pouch. The method of divination doesn't affect the strands per hour, like I mentioned earlier, only the prestige. But the most AFK one is protein memories or arc divination, specifically ancestral energy divination. So that's what I would recommend you do. But if you're trying to go for trim and you haven't done the Elder Chronicle requirement or the Arc requirement, then you want to do most of this Memorial of Guthix requirement alongside the Elder Chronicle requirement, because that takes around 25 hours. This takes around 30 hours. So you can do most of it there, and the remaining you can do at the Arc, because you still need a bit of ancestral energy for the Arc trim requirement. I will link my Arc guide in the description below for the trim requirement of the Arc. And finally, you want to make sure that every time you start a new set, if you just reset your prestige or you increase the prestige, you want to charge and use the World Gate Engram first, which you can find northeast of the World Gate. For this, you'll need 160 memory strands and 400 sparkling energies. And the reason for this is that it increases duration of divination springs, so you can AFK more, and you can get more strands and energies and memories out of a spring before it depletes. So that's the most useful one for the trim requirement. There are loads of other more useful ones as well. You can only activate one at a time until you reach Prestige 1. Then you can activate 2. At Prestige 2 you can activate 3, and at Prestige 3 you can activate 4 effects at a time, which is the trim requirement. And you can change these around each time you unlock a slot or on Wednesday resets. And finally, don't be that person who decides to just camp a divination spot until they gathered 9,576 strands, and then decides to go and do all of the 36 engrams back to back to back in batches of 12 each. Get 2,280 or 2,200 and hand in the 12 or 11 I guess attuned engrams first so that you reach prestige 1, you get the comp requirement out of the way, and you get a free 2k shards at least at 99 divination. And like I said, it may be higher, I'm not sure right now. Let me know if it is higher at 120 or 200 mil divination. After you do this, you'll get a head start of about 6 hours, cut 6 hours off your requirement, cut 2k off your requirement, possibly more depending on again how many strands you get. So that's all there is for this guide. I hope it helped you guys out. Massive credit goes to Reddit as well as to Mod Manti for the numbers, so I will link them in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed this. You can also check out some of my other trim guides if you want. I will also be making some more Burthorpe trim. And yeah, thanks for watching.